premiered on Netflix last weekend. It's a Norwegian film from director Roar Uthaug, who did Tomb Raider and The Wave. He wrote the story while the script was written by Espen Auken. It's about, you guessed it, a troll. A big giant troll. He's awoken after hundreds of years by a crew trying to build a tunnel or something against the wishes of environmentalists. They mess with the environment and fucked us all. Typical monster movie stuff. And now some higher-ups need to make sure that the troll doesn't do any serious damage. Yeah, I gave the trailer for this a like on YouTube, but not really because I expected it to be a good movie per se, but I figured even if it was bad, it looked like it might be at least an entertaining bad movie. And I guess for the most part, that is what this is. It's basically the kind of movie you think it is. If Roland Emmerich made a Norwegian film, it would look like this. There aren't any real surprises here. There are your monster movie cliches and other things you've come to expect. You've got your newbie main character who's only drawn into it because they needed a professional paleontologist at some point. And there's her father who tried to warn everybody, but they all thought he was crazy, and still do even when they see the troll. I mean, a giant monster is totally believable, but to say it's a troll, man, this guy's crazy. These characters aren't exactly deep, but that's to be expected. We're all here for the monster, and it's a fairly good one. This movie wears its inspirations on its sleeve, with both King Kong and Godzilla mentioned by name on 2 separate occasions. And of course, it channels these inspirations through ancient folklore. It spends a decent amount of time not showing the monster. Not a long time. It doesn't exactly ruin the experience too much seeing him in all the promotional material since he's still seen for most of the movie. But there is a good half hour or so where he's just kind of a mysterious force, and that's effective, even though we already know what the troll looks like. And when they do show him, he's brought to life with great special effects. He's threatening, but also a little bit pitiful, especially near the end. But like with a lot of monster movies, most of it is focused on the human characters who aren't as interesting. But it still has a few good scenes with the creature. I've been kind of switching between 3 stars and 2.5 since it's pretty much what it wants to be and what you'd expect it to be. But in the long run, I decided that no, it's not quite 3-star material. Mostly because, well, it doesn't quite go far enough for that. It just isn't entertaining enough. Not enough monster thrills. I get that there's really only so much we can see of the troll without breaking the budget or something, but even the scenes he's in could probably go a little bigger. The high point is a scene where he's fighting helicopters in the middle of an amusement park. That scene has a destructive energy to it that's missing from most of the film. Just double down on the mayhem, have him really fuck shit up. The new Godzilla movies are entertaining because of how devastating the creatures are to cities and armies that they come into contact with. The most entertaining bad giant monster movies, plain and simply, have no regard for human life or property. But it's still an, I guess, decently entertaining bad movie. Its existence basically disproves the idea that foreign films are all snobby art films. Here's a stupid one. But then again, if you want a good movie from this year to disprove that, just go see RRR again. Seriously, why haven't you seen that already? Pause the video and watch RRR so you can actually say that you've experienced cinema. What Troll lacks in writing and all that other stuff, it sort of makes up for with special effects and action, but it could have been more entertaining. It's exactly the movie you think it is.
Our next attraction! A candy bar galore in our big candy store, just in case you want a taste of something sweet.
Our popcorn is nutritious, you will find it delicious.
Most anything that you would care to eat. Cooling drinks that are so grand, simply name your favorite brand. Awesome ice cream, so good and helpful too. If you feel you need nutrition, now's the time, it's intermission. Step right up, we have the very best for you.
Harry Potter Jr. expected to have a little trouble getting adjusted in his new neighborhood. But he never expected anything like this. Troll, where myths and legends come to life.
Well, this is a weird one to follow with. The Fabelmans is a genuinely great movie, from director Steven Spielberg, who also wrote it along with Tony Kushner, loosely based on his own childhood as an aspiring filmmaker. A little backstory on me. Steven Spielberg was the first director I got into as a kid, and I was obsessed. I will probably never get into any director like I got into him as a kid. I had a book about his life, and I'm sure kid me would have killed to be able to see that life on the screen. This movie isn't actually about him specifically. It's filtered through the original character of Sam Fableman. His filmmaking is of course the main focus of the story, but it thankfully never romanticizes filmmaking enough to seem corny. It shows the family falling apart and him facing bullying and anti-Semitism as a Jewish American, and the filming is more of a coping mechanism than a solution. This is an obviously personal film for Spielberg, and it comes out consistently interesting and well made. It's my favorite Spielberg film in a long time, let's say since Saving Private Ryan. Between this and Belfast, the other recent personal movie about the director's childhood, this is the better one by far. Between this and West Side Story, Steven just keeps putting out bangers. Of course, it could help that this was pretty much made for me, a Spielberg fan who is interested in his life, and as somebody who hopes to work in the entertainment industry, or talk about it online. Hey, subscribe and join my Patreon. But really, it's just a great movie. More than just Oscar bait. A genuine film that is unmistakably the director's most personal. I'm giving this 4.5 stars, but that could maybe change to 5 later. Who knows? After all, that happened with Everything Everywhere All at Once and RRR. Either way, this is behind only those two for my favorite movie of the year. It's a deep autobiographical movie that truly gets to the heart of passion for film while still great for people who have only a passing interest in film. I loved it.